careful what you wish for in your word of the year, right? The word freedom. Look at how magically beautiful it wound up being for you. The universe still conspires in your highest and best, and you had the choices in every single one of those moments. Clearly, it's time for me to move on to the next adventure, like seeing them as stepping stones for you in what is next and what it is that you get to create. Hello, everybody, and welcome to another episode of the Power in the Pause podcast. How are you all doing today? Wow, I can't even contain my excitement about my guest today because she and I had the privilege of meeting one another a couple, or I guess by the time this airs, it's going to be about 6 months ago. And we met at an event through a mutual friend, and it was truly like soul love at first sight, you guys. And my guest today is my soul sister. I do also believe that she is one of my angel guides who my mom sent to me. I am here and joined by Carol Walkner. Hello, Carol. How are you? Welcome to today's episode.
I am so excited to be here, and ditto for everything you just said, my dear soul sister. It's like
I know.
magic moment.
Completely. The world stopped, you guys, when Carol and I met and we connected, and it's just been truly a love fest ever since. And I have been so looking forward to having her on the show because she is such a light and has such an important story to share with you all today, and the lessons that she's learned over her life, because she has got wisdom in areas that I didn't even know existed, you guys. And so our conversation today is Carol is going to walk us through her pause moments that took her from being just okay to, as she answered today when she got on Zoom, to truly fabulous. And she is that and everything around and about that. So before we dive into what I know is going to be a truly magical conversation today, I want to share more about Carol's background with you guys because it is truly, truly unique. So Carol Walkner, who calls herself, and I actually think I inserted a word in there for her when we first met, but she is a magical medical medium and a third-generation psychic who channels messages from angels, spirit guides, and loved ones to bring clarity, healing, and direction to her clients. She has gone from a very young entrepreneur to a top corporate executive. And all along the way, she has followed her calling to help people rediscover themselves and to create lives that they are truly passionate about. She is also a certified Reiki master. You guys, she's incredible. I'm certified Reiki master and coach. And she specializes in helping her clients to clear energy blocks, reduce stress, and guide her clients to step into what their dreams are. She is somebody who is also working with clients to guide them on their path and to transform their lives with her quantum leap guiding and coaching. She brings a truly heart-centered approach that inspires nothing short of the best results possible. She's also a very gifted public speaker, a writer, a workshop leader, and a master at turning just okay into fabulous. So, Carol, thank you for being here. And I'm going to stop talking because I want you to speak and to share with our audience today about that moment in the pause that you had. So take us back to that moment where you realized that you were living that life that felt just okay.
Thank you so much, Wendy. So I was in my 60s, actually. So hopefully anyone who's seeing this or listening would be 20 or 30 or 40 years younger than that before they take their pause. And my life was running well. It was okay. And my word for that year was freedom. So be careful what you ask for or what you want to live up to, because within a very short time, I released myself from a 15-year relationship that was okay. not fabulous, not wonderful, but okay. And a life that was okay, put everything in storage and drove from New York to California in February. Who drives there across the country in the winter?
Nobody.
And,
You do. You
but
do.
I do, right? And I had no idea. Well, I knew where I was going, but I had no idea what else was going to be possible in that year. And I was actually going out to California to help my son and daughter-in-law with their newborn twins because they already had a 2-year-old. It's like, ay, 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 help me.
Yes.
So I was in the process of writing a book. It's a book workbook about my methods of coaching. And I've used that over the last 10 years to coach people. So part of writing that book and part of this journey that I was on was pulling myself through that experience and those experiences that I work with my people on. So I am a living proof that this shit works. It's dynamic. Anyway, so no idea what I was doing, well, I knew where I was going, but what I was doing. So I was out there for 3 months, and then I was getting an urge, kind of a push from the universe. Okay, you need to publish the book. You need to get back to your life. You need to make some money this year because you're all by yourself now and you need to figure your life out. So I said to myself, okay, I would say less than a week, my aunt calls me up, and she lived in New Jersey. She was in a nursing home at that time. And she said, I'm concerned about my house. It's standing empty. Do you know what you're doing after California? And I said, I have no clue. And she said, well, do you want to come back to Jersey and live in my house? Oh, I could do that. Yes, please. That's where all my clients and most of my friends were in Jersey. So back I go, and I'm there for a few months. And my cousin says, okay, we're going to sell the house, so you need to leave. Okay, no problem. So within another few days, a friend of mine here from Cincinnati, because I used to live here way before that time, says, do you know what you're doing with your life? And I said, well, a little, but I haven't got it all figured out. She goes, where are you going to live? I said, I don't know. She says, well, would you consider coming back to Cincinnati? Because my mom has a condo that's free all winter from December 1st to the end of March. And I said, oh, I could do that since I have to leave my house in New Jersey on November 30th. So give me a day to get there. So pack my car back again and drive to Cincinnati. And her mom came back to the condo at the end of March. I closed on my house in Cincinnati on the 12th of March. So it was a magical year and a year of freedom. And I never doubted for one instant, not one instant, that everything was going to be okay. I trusted myself, and I trusted the power of the pause, that I was figuring things out in that year. And I had the faith that the universe had my back. And literally, that was 10 years ago. I have never been happier. I'm living the life that I designed and that I dreamed about. And I have this, so I sold my house. Now I have this gorgeous condo that I fell in love with 25 years ago and said, someday I'm going to live there. So of course I bought it during COVID in 2020. Why not? And I also learned another pause during COVID, that I don't have to do Reiki in person. So my business quintupled. And because I had clients all over the world because everybody was freaking out. And as a medical medium, I could tell was they had COVID or not COVID. So no, you just have a cold. Take aspirin, you're fine. Yes, you have COVID. Don't go near anybody. So my life is magical, and it's been magical since that year. It's probably been magical my whole life, but I've learned the power of the pause in various places during my life. But this seems to be the most crucial.
Oh my God, yes. And, a couple things, right? It's like you said in the beginning, right? Careful what you wish for in your word of the year, right? The word freedom. And I just want to say one thing about that. And with your story is that like, that is the ambiguity with the universe when you don't specify what it is exactly you mean by freedom. And at the same time, like, look at how magically beautiful it wound up being for you. And I want to say, like, the universe still conspires in your highest and best. And you had the choices in every single one of those moments to freak out, to go, oh crap, now what? Where am I going to go? But instead, you're like, okay, clearly it's time for me to move on to the next adventure. And what some people I think would call obstacles, like seeing them as stepping stones for you in what is next and what it is that you get to create. I mean, you really did live into your word freedom for the year and look at what it has created for you. And so after that pause moment and after kind of like that, I would say what, maybe like a year or so, it sounds like of, sort of the transition of the move and really settling down into Cincinnati, what inspired you from what it is that you learned over that year of freedom that has allowed you to really embody that and live that fabulous life that you have?
It's faith and trust in both myself and the universe.
Mm-hmm.
And I believe there are no accidents. I'm here for multiple reasons, and some of them I may not know, but it's affordable living in Cincinnati. Would I love to live in New Jersey, where a lot of my friends are? Yes. Would I love to live in California, where my son and daughter-in-law and delightful grandchildren are? Yes. And I'm by myself, and Cincinnati has everything I love and offers so much. For me, by myself, it's affordable. And I get to drive to Jersey, fly to California, drive to Chicago, fly to Canada. I go all over the place, fly to Paris, whatever. Right. I created this life, and it is about faith and trust, and it's about adventure. And maybe some people will see me as a Pollyanna, but I'm excited about life, and I'm excited about what's the next possibility? What's the next opportunity? And is everything wonderful? Probably not, but I make the best of every week and every day. And today I put out a little reel. I love dragons. So I've been doing these dragon reels for the whole year of 2024. And today I put, be grateful for all the good moments and that take your breath away rather than get afraid of the moment. Just remember the moments that take your breath away and just be in those.
Yeah, it's so beautiful. And it speaks to something so incredibly important. And I know you know that I preach this and teach this all the time, which is really all about your mindset. Because your mindset at the end of the day is everything. And that is where faith and trust live. And so perhaps there's somebody listening today who is thinking to themselves, like, God, she's so courageous. I wish I could do that, right? Somebody who has taken, you went from corporate America, you started your own business that was mostly rooted in local one-to-one appointments, to when COVID hit, seeing that, wait, energy, I don't have to be around physically in person with someone, which is what my theta healing taught me as well. I learned how to theta heal right around the same time when COVID hit and realized that energy is everywhere and we can tap into people. So reinventing yourself and your business at the same time, thinking outside of the box, is a skill that I think a lot of people miss, or they don't necessarily open themselves up to different perspectives and the possibilities. So take us back to that moment where you were, you kind of had that epiphany moment of like, wait a second, I can do this all online now. And here you are being able to not only reinvent yourself, but to really expand the field by which you're able to really support so many more people. So how did you navigate through that shift? Because there's a big difference, right? in working one-to-one in your life, in clients' lives, in time and space and energy. So take us back and kind of walk us through how you were really able to embrace and shift that mindset.
Thank you. That's a fabulous question. So I would say most of the clients that I had in Jersey who were still connected to me, they were freaking out or panicking or wondering. So they were the first ones to call me, can you help me? And it's like, well, let me tune into your energy and see. Oh, yes, I can help you. I can feel you. You're 600 miles away, but I can feel you. And my Reiki master and I would do things online. And in one session, we both put our hands up. And the woman who was on her table said, the temperature just went up 20 degrees. She could feel the heat. And I'm 600 miles away putting my hands against the computer screen.
I just got chills, Carol.
I know.
Holy crap.
I know.
I love that.
So I just put myself out there. I call myself the connection queen because I have connections all over everywhere and now all over the world. And so I just let it all out that no matter where you are, I can feel your energy. And I'll tune into someone and I'll close my eyes. I create an energy bubble and I go, oh, you're a little sad today. Or, oh, you feel really good today. And I had one client who was holding a baby and I go, whoa, I felt the baby's energy too. It's like, wee.
So cool.
Again, it's like, okay, COVID's here. What am I going to do? I didn't ever panic. I didn't even say, what am I going to do? I go, okay, let's figure this out. And universe, tune in. Hello, help me. And zip, then we learn little by little. Yes, I don't need to have you in person to make a difference. And as a clairvoyant, you don't have to be in person at all. And some of it is trusting myself that what I'm seeing and what I'm hearing, because I'm clairaudient also, and I'm clairsentient. That's why the medical medium works. Because when I was working on this man yesterday and he was coughing, and as soon as I tuned into his energy, it's like an elephant's on my chest and I'm going, and he was, he's old. And I said, don't worry. As soon as I help you, mine goes away. This is just my indicator. It's my physical barometer in my body that tells me where your issue is. And my study of Chinese medicine in the 80s has helped me. The Eastern medical model is that if there's a pain or discomfort in the body, it could be associated with an emotional upset or some kind of trauma. So that tells me wherever somebody's pain is, oh, what's going on with your mother? Or, oh, are you sad about something? Do you feel abandoned? So I get so many hits, informational hits for myself from all the learnings that I've had also.
Yeah. And I can so relate. I know that there's so much I want to ask and say to you right now. So I'm going to try to break down where I want to go with this. But no, you guys, Carol's skill set is incredible because I do want to share a personal example. When Carol and I met back in September, my son was incredibly ill. My son, who had just left for college, was across the country. I was actually in New York, going down to Virginia to go visit him right after the event that we were at together. And he was so incredibly sick. And Carol, she picked up on his energy. She helped and supported me and doing work on him energetically and honestly calmed my nerves because I was freaking out when he calls me and tells me he's going to the emergency room. And I'm thinking, do I need to leave this event and get my ass on a plane and get down there and figure out what the hell is going on with my kid? Ended up being, I still maintain he had walking pneumonia, not that it was diagnosed, but nonetheless, Carol was there. She diagnosed it all. Diagnosed it before the doctor even got into the room. And it was so powerful. And I can relate to that too, because while I don't do Reiki, I'm a theta healer and I do body scans. And it's very similar because depending upon where and how I feel someone's energy when I'm doing body scans, same thing. It relates back to emotions and feelings and beliefs that are manifesting and creating discomfort or even dis-ease or sickness, illness. And so, you guys, I can attest to the power of this type of work and how differentiating it is. And what I also want to ask you, Carol, because I'm also so fascinated by like, how do you go from being this like corporate powerhouse executive to being an energy, medical, magical medium? You know, somebody out there is like, I work in the little corporate box and, you know, yeah, I have spiritual ability and yeah, this interests me. And yeah, I kind of have, like, some people know that I have these gifts or this area interests me. And they're like, how the hell do I go from here to there? And I'd love for you to also share, because I know that that was another pause moment for you, that you made the decision to leave corporate and to jump full head into this other, you know, your entrepreneurial business instead. And I'd love for you to talk to somebody out there who is potentially in that same mindset right now, right? How can they start using that like nudge that they're getting inside, that like it's done, like the ship has sailed and I can't do this anymore, and using that, seeing that as a pause moment so that they can create and make a meaningful change in their life like you did?
Thank you. Thank you. Great question. They could call me and I could clairvoyantly tell them what's going to happen. That would be the easiest, but
I'm all about shortcuts.
So I started in corporate America in the, you're going to know how old I am if I tell you this. Anyway, in 1979, and in the early 80s, I met this woman, this energy healer, and was intrigued and realized working with her that I had these skills and abilities. I've always been clairvoyant since I was a little kid, and my grandparents were that. So, and my sister's really psychic. So we know, you know, it runs in the family. But learning how to channel the energy and working with this incredible woman on the side at night and on weekends while I was in corporate America, because I was a partial breadwinner and I had a son. And then when I got divorced, I was the only breadwinner. So I had to keep that corporate job to pay the bills. And as I learned more energy and learned more skills and really built that part of myself up. And corporate America is great. And because of some of these skills and the clairvoyance and the knowing what to say and who to call on, helped me be very, very successful. And I was always the VP of sales and marketing. The people who worked under me loved me. Everybody would be great. And I would keep a job between 3 and 6 years. And then I would lose the job because, well, she doesn't fit into the corporate box. Thank you for realizing I'm never going to fit into your box. So the last job I had, I did not get fired. He sold the company. And I was on my way to interview with the new company, and I had a very, very slight car accident, which said, okay, universe, I'm not supposed to be there. I'm supposed to go home and do something else. So I was living in Jersey, and lo and behold, probably a month before that, I had found this wonderful Reiki master. So it just turned from one thing to another. And so I still have my corporate business on as a side gig. So I flipped it. So I did the energy work full time and the corporate business part time. So anything's possible. And the universe wants you to be the happiest, most joy-filled human that you can be. So let the universe know what you want, and be careful because you don't know how they're going to. Specifics.
Details are important, my friends.
So one of the times that I was let go, I lived in this fabulous, wonderful condo here in Cincinnati. And as I was leaving my home that morning, I thought, I wonder what it would be like to be here during the day. I said, no, I don't. Cancel. I don't want to know that. They fired me an hour later.
Oh, geez.
So I came back and said, oh, this is what it feels like to be here during the day.
You know, it's so interesting, Carol. And I don't know that we've ever even talked about this before, or like I've like seen even closer our parallels, but I was in ad sales. So I was doing sales and marketing as well. And it's interesting because like your moment with the accident and corporate and kind of seeing the signs, it makes me think back when I was contemplating my marriage, my life, corporate. Did I still want to be doing this? So I remember it was January of 2018. And I had finally made the decision to file for divorce, had filed. And I literally, careful what you wish for, my friends. I had made a pact. I was like, I am done with this chapter of my life. Well, I didn't specify what chapter of my life I was done with because I had already filed for divorce. And literally a month later, I was part of a layoff at my company. And at the time, I was freaking out because I'm like, I just filed for divorce. I'm not going to, yes, I got a great severance package and holy crap, like, what am I going to do? And then I was like, oh my God, I asked for this. I literally said, this chapter of my life is done. Thank you, universe. And holy crap, Wendy, watch what you say, because at the end of the day, we are all such powerful manifestors. And I will tell you guys, like, similar feeling to you, it was like that wake up call that I was like, oh my God, I don't want to be doing any of this anymore. Like subconsciously, I knew that the ship had sailed, that the part of my life that, I had been a part of for 2 decades, it wasn't meant to be anymore. And sometimes, living that fabulous life, it looks so different than any of us ever imagined. And yet at the same time, it's perfect, right? Like it may not happen exactly the way we want, and it never does. Like, let's be real, you guys. Like,
No, it never does.
does anything happen ever the way that you plan? No. And I would have never, 8 years ago, looking ahead to my future self in this moment today, I would have never thought that I would be where I'm at today. Never in any area of my life. So, Carol, I'm curious to know, sort of looking back, right? And now seeing where you are. No, I don't want you to look back. I want you to be present. I take that. Thank you, universe. Take that back, right? So, you're living a fabulous life now. And I'd love for you to share with everybody how that shift and that being fabulous has impacted your life, relationships, your career, your sense of self, your friendships, fun, which I know is one of our favorite words that we talk about often. Share a little bit about the impact it's had in all those areas of your life.
That's a really, really good question. So, relationships here in Cincinnati, I have many girlfriends, women friends, and we do a lot of things together. I have some men friends to do things with also. I've purposely I bought my condo in 2020, purposely in this, it's a condo community. It's an older community. So I have very many connections here. I play Mahjong on Friday afternoons, and I've started 2 different Mahjong clubs. So if I can't find someone to play with, I look and I ask, and then there they are. And I started another Mahjong thing here on Saturday afternoons. And so I keep creating pieces of my life if there seems to be something missing. Like I was playing Mahjong on Friday afternoons. I'm a recovering workaholic, so I can't help myself. I work Monday through Friday noon and sometimes Saturday morning. And so I was going to this club to play Mahjong on Friday afternoons, and that was okay. But then the weekend would stretch out. I live by myself. Many of my friends are married or coupled up and not available. And so I started a Mahjong club here on Saturday afternoons and then go out to dinner afterward. We're up to 15 women who now can choose to play with us or whatever. And then I walk with some friends on Sundays. So I keep creating where there's holes in my life. I create something that works for me and can be another layer of goodness in my life.
I love that. And we have to talk about, and you get to share for those people who are listening and can't see Carol. Carol has fabulous hair.
Purple.
So you need to, and you can't even see all the fabulousness of her hair unless it's like, it's hard to see the other piece of fabulous. So share the fabulousness. Oh, there they are. Share the fabulousness of your hair.
So I'm very mature. I have normally white hair, but that's ridiculous. So I have it. My blonde that I showed a picture to my hairdresser of when I was 18 years old. This is the color I want. So most of it's blonde, except for the purple in the front. My sister has magenta. I have purple. And I've added tinsel throughout my sides and my back of my hair. And
purple tinsel.
Purple tinsel. Yes, because my granddaughter's favorite color is purple. So what other color am I going to use, really? I was in the post office on Friday, and this man behind me goes, Carol? And I turned around. He goes, up. I knew it was you because of the tinsel in the back of your hair.
I love it.
He says, nobody else but Carol has tinsel in their hair. And I'm in my 70s, so I'm having fun. So
you are.
That's the bottom line. Playful was one of my words a couple of years ago. And so I'm still playing with the grandkids. I have 3 lovely, lovely, lovely grandkids. I jump on their trampoline. I play soccer and basketball with them and run around playing hide and seek. The 12-year-old doesn't do that. He's too cool now. He doesn't play hide and seek anymore. But the 9-year-olds do.
It's so juvenile to play hide and seek.
Oh, yes. And that's why I still play it.
I know. I love hide and seek. I love playing. I still do. I still try. I mean, my boys are, as you know, my boys are now 18 and 15. And, my 18-year-old's in college now. He's not home as much. And sometimes when he comes home, I make him, I still buy the matching freaking pajama bottoms that I make that us all wear at some point during the holidays. And I'm just like, you know what? I get to keep a couple of things, my friends. But Carol, I really would love for you to share before, because we could talk for like another hour, I feel like. But I would love for you to share, if there's somebody listening to you today and they're going, I just don't know. Okay, seems safe. What would you say to them? What piece of advice even would you give to that listener? Or what piece of advice would you give to, your corporate self a decade before you made any pivots? What would you say to them right now?
So write the word safe on a piece of paper and burn it. You don't have any fun. You don't live life if you're staying safe. You might want to feel secure. So I have tools and tips for giving you security and balancing your body and your chakras or whatever. But safe doesn't give you anything. Take that word out of your vocabulary, put in something like powerful, bold, I want more, possibility, opportunity. And if you can't think of a word, call me, I'll help you.
Carol's pretty fabulous, you guys. And you all need to make sure that you connect with her. Carol, where can people find you, connect with you, be in your essence?
So my website is carolwalkner.com. That's pretty obvious. And my Gmail is a really good place to find me. Carol Walkner 888, 38, good luck, at infinity at gmail.com. Carol Walkner 888 at gmail. And I won't give you my phone number because my phone number is on my website. And my website tells you a lot about me. And it will give you some tips and tools. There's other podcasts on there. There's all kinds of different kinds of things to help people. And I offer a 20-minute free complimentary discovery call. So if you want to know how I might be able to help you or want to know, just chat with me, we could set that up. And that's definitely complimentary. And I have a coaching program that will start in late spring. So I'm sure you're hearing this in early spring. And I've honed it down to 3 hour-and-a-half sessions. So we can change your life. You can go from okay to fabulous in 3 1.5-hour sessions.
Sign me up, Carol. Okay. Although I do feel pretty fucking fabulous. I'm going to admit that. And is there ever an end to fabulous? No, there's always more fabulous to feel. So you would be my first call regardless. So Carol, I love you. I truly love you from the bottom of my heart. And I'm so grateful that you came on my show and that you shared your story and your path, and you have inspired so many people, including me. Thank you for being here.
Thank you. I adore you also, and it's my honor and pleasure to be here.
Of course. Well, you guys, I hope you enjoyed our episode today. Everything that Carol shared with you, you guys can find in the show notes. And as a reminder, please do not forget to hit subscribe to this podcast so that you do not miss a single episode, because I release one every single week. Follow me on social media at Wendy Paige Sterling. And if you guys want to be a part of my email newsletter list, email me, Wendy at wendypagesterling.com. As you know, with every single one of my podcast episodes, my goal is to inspire you to find your own power in the pause. And I hope that Carol's story today inspired each and every one of you guys to take one baby step towards you finding your fabulous. So thank you for tuning in. I'm sending you all so much love and light always. Mwah. Bye, everybody.